Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to this morning's press conference at the Jamaica Football Federation. Good morning to the media that have arrived this morning, staff of the Jamaica Football Federation, specially invited guests, sponsors, and other individuals. To commence this morning's press conference, firstly, we'd like to do an introduction of the head table. To my immediate left, we have President of the Jamaica Football Federation, Mr. Michael Ricketts. To his left, the General Secretary, Mr. Dennis Chung. To his left as well, we have the District Manager of Sherwin-Williams, that is Kenneth Richardson. To his left, we also have Althea Pandui, Marketing Manager, Home and Personal Care at Kurtz. And last but certainly by no means least, to her left as well, we have Neville Oxford, past Players Association President, and of course one of the first Jamaican football players to play on the continent of South America. To commence proceedings, let us commence with a prayer, and this will be done by Tamesia Williams-Gray.
Good morning, everyone. I must say JFF is looking lovely this morning. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, I want to give you thanks for waking us up in our right frame of mind this morning. Thank you for everything that you have done for us. Thank you for joining mercies for our sponsors to be here this morning. Lord, as we're still celebrating our victory with the Reggae Girls, I know for days to come and years to come, we will still be celebrating. And as a country, we are proud. And we're even more prouder to have our sponsors on board. I ask that you continue to help this federation to make Jamaica proud. And I pray that other sponsors looking on will come on board. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much, Tamesia, much appreciated there. So to commence proceedings this morning, as we have an exciting program lined up with quite an array of new information and updates to come in relation to our national teams, an exciting third and fourth quarter for this calendar year, and great opportunities for everyone to watch our national teams on home soil. Firstly, we're going to commence proceedings with the President of the Jamaica Football Federation, Michael Ricketts, who will be providing a few updates on some upcoming initiatives.
Thank you very much, Simon. Let me firstly acknowledge those who are seated at the head table. Mr. Neville Oxford, of course, representing the Past Players Association. Althea Pandui, hope I got the pronunciation correct, representing one of our new sponsors, LASCO, and of course Mr. Kenneth Richardson, representing Sherwin-Williams, then our own General Secretary, Mr. Dennis Chung, and of course Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Simon Preston. We're just very, very delighted to be here this morning, and of course basking in the glory of the achievements of a number of our national units. I could say without an apology that so far this must go down in history as the most successful year ever in the history of football in this country. For girls who have done so very well, the boys in the Gold Cup, or under 15s as we speak, they are into the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF tournament. I think 1 p.m. Simon local time, we engage Honduras. If we get past Honduras, then we're into the semifinals. So it's with great pleasure that we are assembled here this morning to make some announcements as it relates to the progress of football in this country. And like I've always said, this JFF has one single item on its agenda, and it's to grow the sport of football. We also want to make it very clear that it's not just about football, but we want to, from a commercial and a social standpoint, we must positively impact the psyche of every single boy and girl in this country. And with what would have happened with the girls, I know that would have provided a catalyst for you, not just girls, but boys too, to want to actually play the sport. Just this morning, we had a meeting with arguably our biggest sponsor, Adidas, and we have some huge plans and some huge announcements to make in the very near future. I want to especially thank the staff members at the JFF who would have done a lot of work trying to get sponsors on board. And this morning, I want to proudly announce that Sherwin-Williams will be providing all the paint that will be used to renovate and repaint the Captain Boyle Center of Excellence. When you next see that facility, it will look absolutely brand new. Thank you so much, Mr. Richardson. We are just very delighted at the prospects. I want to turn my attention now to LASCO. And I was advised that LASCO will be providing for our girls all the feminine products that young people, young women use for their hygiene and of course for their own personal well-being. So to Ms. Pandy and her team at LASCO, we are just absolutely delighted having you on board. I am sure this will be a relationship and a partnership that will last for a very, very long time, because I'm sure that the girls will be on the global stage until the Lord comes for his word. So thank you so much, Sherwin-Williams. Thank you, LASCO. I want to mention that the JFF will be partnering with Dr. Graham as we try to provide some health care for our past national players. This JFF is cognizant of the fact that a number of our players have certainly fallen on hard times, and we are committed to giving as much support as we can as we try to at least say thanks to some of those players who over years, decades ago, would have provided entertainment and quality football to boys and girls and adults as well. So, President Oxford, we will be working very closely with you. We will be giving as much support as we can as we try to appease some disgruntled members and to provide some support for your past players. We want to also make an announcement, and this is in keeping with how this JFF operates. We believe that, and I just said that it can't be all about football, but we want to ensure that our players get some academic support. The JFF is very proud this morning to announce that we will be providing 2 scholarships valued at $300,000 each. This certainly will be the inaugural year, starts in September, and this will be for a boy and girl out of a high school, that boy and girl ought to have matriculated to being a national player. So a number of our under-17s, under-20s would certainly qualify for this initiative. I want to use this opportunity to congratulate all our teams, our girls, and I must announce that at least 2 of our players coming back to Jamaica will be on Jamaican soil today, and the other two will come in tomorrow. The girls really, really made us proud, and I want to reiterate the fact that these girls have impacted the whole world. When we go overseas, and Jessica and I will go to a congress in Australia next week, a FIFA congress, and we must be prepared for the number of congratulatory comments that we are going to get from these overseas entities, because sometimes we don't even understand the magnitude of the achievement until you meet people overseas, and they would want to, they're so amazed at how on earth could Jamaica, with less than 3 million people, hardly any facilities of world class, could not just qualify for the World Cup, but to have been competitive, and must use the opportunity to express my absolute regard to the coaching staff led by Coach Lawrence Donaldson, to all the sponsors, of course, FIFA, Adidas, the Marlin Foundation, the River Girls Foundation, the JFF, and all the other sponsors, and the numbers are growing. And what happens today is testimony that we are making an impact on corporate Jamaica. I really want to express thanks to the other staff members, those for the under-17s, and in fact, Dennis will speak more on this. We have some brand new events that will take place in Jamaica in maybe another 2 months. These are events that are initiated by CONCACAF and FIFA. So we are at least having a presence on the world stage. When we get these new sponsors, it makes us a lot more marketable. And again, to Sherry Williams and to Lasco, your contribution will never go unnoticed. Thanks again. For the rest of the year, we have as many as maybe 12 games between now and December for various age groups. Our senior men's team have games in the Nations League. The girls have a very, very important assignment with Canada as we try for a spot at the Olympics. No team from Jamaica, from a footballing perspective, would have qualified for the Olympics. But with so many positives and with so many historic achievements, it is certainly not far-fetched that this could be our first getting into the Olympics with a football unit. Thanks again for having me. We're just very excited at the prospects, and so many positive things are happening. I have a whole list of things here that would have been historic. I understand that for the first time advancing to the semifinals of the CONCACAF Gold Cup since 2019, we secured our biggest victory in the history of the Gold Cup, a 5-0 win over St. Kitts, first time defeating Guatemala in 11 years, first time defeating Trinidad and Tobago in 7 years. Demari Gray, our own Demari Gray, was named in the CONCACAF Gold Cup team. Our Reggae Girls, 5 points in the group stage of the World Cup, the most by any Jamaican team, and probably by any Caribbean team. 3 clean sheets in 4 matches, Jamaica leaves the tournament with the least number of goals conceded. No ordinary achievement. First Caribbean team in the round of 16 of the World Cup in 85 years. That's your age, Dennis? First Caribbean team in the round of 16 of the World Cup in 85 years. Based on the statistics, Jamaica finished 13th out of 32 teams at the World Cup. For under 20 Reggae Girls, first time Jamaica defeated a Central American team at the CONCACAF Under 20 Championship in since 2020 with a 4-1 win over Panama. Our under-15 Reggae Boys, first time Jamaica advanced to the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Under-15 Championship in the history of this tournament. At the CSC Games, we produced the youngest scorer in the history of the CSC Games, as Shanil Buckley, at 18 years of age, scored in a 1-1 draw with Puerto Rico. And I'm sure that later on the list will go on and on and on. Thank you so much for having me. May God bless you all and continue to support our national program.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ricketts. Much appreciated there. Before we invite Mr. Dennis Chung to also give his remarks as well, just a reminder to those in attendance as well, and those also virtually, to subscribe to the different JFF platforms. On YouTube, it is JFF Live. On Instagram, it is JFF_football. The same on Twitter as well, JFF_football. And the website, JFF.football, to get all the latest information, pictures, updates, graphics, anything in relation to all our national teams that take the field. As the President said, for the rest of this calendar year and even going into next year as well, there is a heavy plate of assignments and also great opportunities on home soil to see our national teams in action. And to expand more on this, we now invite Mr. Dennis Chung to speak on these matters.
Thank you, Simon. Just want to observe everyone at the head table. Thank everyone for being here, sponsors, media, everyone's staff. It is indeed exciting times, and I just want to say first of all that whatever age I am, the President is older than I am. But no, it has been a good run for us. The President says it's probably the most successful year in the history of football in Jamaica. And I want to start first by saying, well, just so one thing on the scholarship which the President announced, which was the dream of the President when I spoke with him about it last year. He said he wanted to do something for children and academics. Actually, we sync up, his partner with us, and so, you know, whenever we call William Mafood, he's always there. So the Usinka Foundation will be working with us. And we thought it was important because, as the President thought, we can't just emphasize football alone, but we have to emphasize the academic side also and push that. I want to first also recognize, as the President said, the staff at the Secretariat and express my gratitude to the staff, because it takes a lot to organize all of these things. And I can tell you, when they're here working at 9, 10 o'clock at night, a lot of people don't see that. Don't see what they actually do, you know, when they're constantly calling people to assist us, organizing everything in the background, you know. So I really want to thank the staff for the support that they've given to us, because it couldn't happen without them. And because of them, we've seen a lot of internal accomplishments also in terms of administration. One I'll mention is that this one I know the President is very proud of. The first time in maybe about 10 years, President we've had a tax compliance certificate at the Jamaica Football Federation. So we're very proud of that, because this is in the thrust, as the President says, to add to the transparency for sponsors to see what we're doing. So we have some very exciting things coming up. So it has been a very busy period, and I want to welcome the young Reggae girls who are walking in. It has been a very busy period. This year alone, we had several camps for the girls. We started with Florida. We had a camp for the senior team in Australia. We had a Four Nation tournament. We had the UK camp. We had the Jamaica camp, the Amsterdam camp, and then they played in Morocco before the World Cup. So all of this happened for the senior women's team in preparation and it took a lot of effort to get it done. We also had the boys who went to Austria, went to the Gold Cup and did very well, and know that their accomplishment sometimes is overshadowed by the greatness of the girls also, but getting to the semi-finals of the Gold Cup is not an easy feat, you know, and I think they did very well. Although I wanted them to go further, but you know, getting to the semi-finals is great. We have the under-15 boys who are doing very well in Damret. They would have gone down to Trinidad before that. We have the under-14 girls who at the middle of this month are going down to Antigua for a CONCACAF tournament also. And then one of the things I'm announcing now is that the under-17 qualifiers for CONCACAF, we will be hosting a group in Jamaica between August 26th and September 3rd, and we will be playing those matches over 3 days at Savannah Park. There are 3 teams that are going to be here, including Jamaica, and we have been selected to host one of the groups, which I think is a significant recognition of what is happening in Jamaica. And then, you know, when we thought that we could rest, we have a triple bill. You know, remember those days you used to go to a movie, President, long time ago, and we had triple bills. We have a triple bill in September with 2 Nation League matches, CONCACAF in Jamaica on the 8th and the 12th of September, and then the girls play a match in Jamaica on the 22nd against Canada, and then between them, then September and December, we have a potential, as the president said, of 12 matches. And all of those things need to be organized by the staff here, so it's going to be a very, very busy period. Hopefully, when we get through that, we will get to Copa America. And if we get to Copa America, that will be a significant accomplishment for us. And I can say, coming out of the meeting this morning, the president spoke to it about Adidas, is the JFF kit is probably the #1 selling kit for Adidas in the world today, which, you know, we want to thank the supporters for all of that, because that certainly is significant. So we have a very busy schedule. In addition to that, Jamaica has been selected by FIFA to actually host an international coaching session, which I think is going to be in about early September in Jamaica, and that is a significant showing of the confidence in Jamaica and what we've done. So we know that by that time, with the help of Sherwin-Williams, we will have our center up and running and on full display for that international coaching session when it happens, because we expect big things. So I'll just close by saying that I want to also extend my thanks to Sherwin-Williams and Lasco, who Curves has come on. I mean, we obviously want to have a lot of sponsors on, because the more people that participate is the more successful we'll be, as not just as JFF and football, but as a country, right? And therefore we really appreciate it. So until I speak again, Simon, that's it.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chung. And just to give a technical breakdown on what Mr. Chung was making mention about the under-17 girls, originally in the qualifiers, it was a group of 4 with Anguilla, Grenada and Panama. However, Anguilla has withdrawn from the competition, which means that the group will now be Grenada, Panama and Jamaica. Those fixtures, Jamaica against Grenada Monday, August 26, and Jamaica against Panama Wednesday, August 30. If there will be any changes from CONCACAF as a result of Anguilla withdrawing, we will keep you posted, and we already updated the different platforms as well on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube for all the latest information there. Mr. Chung also made mention about the Nations League for the Reggae Boys on September 8th and September 12th. Jamaica against Honduras, that will be the first match in the Nations League. That is Friday, September 8th. And Jamaica against Haiti on Tuesday, September 12th. But before I go into the Reggae Girls assignments, I want to piggyback on the Under-17 Reggae Girls situation. In order to advance to the CONCACAF final round, you'll need to be at the top of the group, and that's how we would qualify for the CONCACAF Women's Championship. So these are the preliminaries, and in order to advance to the final round, we'll need to finish at the top of the group. Also, the Olympic qualifier against Canada, it's a double in this situation. Jamaica versus Canada on Friday, September 22, that's the first leg of the Olympic qualifiers, and Tuesday, September 26 in Toronto, Canada, the second leg. The winner on aggregate not only qualifies for the Olympics, but also books their ticket as well to the inaugural CONCACAF Women's Gold Cup, which will be in the United States next year as well. So another great opportunity as well to qualify for this new tournament. And we have a wonderful trend, as we all know. 1998 World Cup was in France, 2019 in France. Where will the Olympics be next year? Yes, in France as well. So we like making habits for France as well to qualify for tournaments. So we look forward to that quite deeply. And as mentioned as well by the President, Mr. Ricketts, and also Mr. Chung as well, there is potential for more matches depending on the results of our national teams as well, because there's quarterfinals of the Nations League later this calendar year in November as well. So great opportunity for everybody to turn up, whether it is to Sabina Park, the National Stadium, for these upcoming assignments, and more information will unfold in due course, and we'll provide more information later for sure. So up next, what we're going to have is a few remarks from our sponsors, and firstly we're going to invite Mr. Richardson from Sherwin-Williams.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Or is it good morning? Okay, so some persons didn't know the time, just like myself. It's good to be here. It's very, very good to be here. Let me just take time out to greet the head table and all media houses who are here, and everybody, and the young reggae girls that just came in. It just looks so good to see them, walking in with such pride, and it feels really, really good. Some time ago, I was talking to Dennis, and I was telling him that I used to play football. And he was like, okay. I said, guess what position I used to play? Can anybody guess? Defense? Center off. What does that mean? Off the field? Well, interestingly enough, at one point I was a goalkeeper. Don't laugh, it's a true story. I was a goalkeeper at one point. I think they probably couldn't find anybody else, and I was the winning one. So at one point I was a goalkeeper, and then I was right back. So, yeah, a little defensive word, but it's really, really good to be here. And I just want to say that how proud it is for, when we saw what the Reggae Girls did recently, I mean, the grit, determination, the stamina that they showed, the never say die attitude, it was just magnificent. They went all in. And to have accomplished what they did is nothing short of just great work and determination. And many of us, of course, wouldn't have seen the amount of work and practice that they would have put in the back end to have been able to accomplish that. So, as a country, I'm sure everybody is proud, and as a company, Sherwin-Williams is likewise extremely proud. This year we are celebrating as a company 50 years as a company in Jamaica, 50 years, and close to 20 of those years we have been providing support to the JFF. And for at least 14 years we were the title sponsor for women's football in Jamaica. Right? And we stuck with the program and gave it consistent support. And it wasn't just about football or about branding. No, it was far more than that. It is about what JFF is doing. It's about nation building. Right? Because the thing is, when you take someone to learn the art and the discipline to play football and to play their position the way they should play their position, what we're actually doing is building a nation. we are actually building discipline in people. So JFF, the president and the entire JFF staff, I must say congratulations on the work that you have been doing to help to build the nation of Jamaica. I'm sure everybody here is proud to be a Jamaican right now, isn't that so? Yes, and the JFF has been doing a magnificent job in helping to build the nation. And Sherwin-Williams, we are likewise proud to be part of that nation building. And we will continue to work with the Jamaica Football Federation to provide support. Many persons may not know, but color can provide such rejuvenation for the mind and the body. And hence, you know, when you walk into a property, I remember many years ago, this is probably 18 years ago or so, when JFF said they wanted their head office to be repainted. And I remember coming here at that time to look at the building and to make recommendations as to what is needed. And we did provide paints. And now, to be called upon to paint the Horace Burrell Center of Excellence, we feel proud to be able to paint this facility. And it's not just about paint, it's about what it's going to do for the feeling of persons when they walk into this property, when they get in and they see the lovely colors around them, or they can feel relaxed, or they can enjoy what the surrounding have to offer. And again, Sherwin-Williams, we remain proud, and we will continue to provide support for the Jamaica Football Federation in whatever way we can, because as I said before, this is not just about branding. This is about nation building. And Sherwin-Williams, we are committed to, as our tagline says, putting more color in your life, and we are committed towards nation building. So to the JFF, job well done. To the Reggae Girls, congratulations again. And I don't know if I still have a future in football. Dennis? Well, you know, I was going to challenge Dennis to a little skimmage out front there, but I wouldn't want to embarrass him on national TV, so I won't do that. So congratulations, and again, Sherwin-Williams remain very proud to be a part of this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Richardson. At this point now, we'll invite Ms. Althea Pandui to also give her remarks. She is the Marketing Manager of Home and Personal Care at Curves.
Mr. Michael Ricketts, President of the Jamaica Football Federation, other members of the Jamaica Football Federation, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, seated here in front of us, our young Reggae girls. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Althea Pandui, as we said, the Marketing Manager for Home and Personal Care at Lasco Distributors Limited, and this includes Curves, our feminine care brand. Lasco Distributors is committed to enhancing everyday family values for consumers across Jamaica and the wider region through nutrition, hygiene, and healthcare. These values include striving for personal excellence in all aspects of life. We take this opportunity to recognize and celebrate yet another historic achievement of the Reggae Girls as the first Caribbean team to qualify for 2 consecutive FIFA World Cup competition, and the first to advance to the second round in 85 years. We also take this opportunity to applaud the Jamaica Football Federation for the work being done to develop and promote women's football by breaking down barriers and stereotypes. We applaud you from Lasco. We at Lasco, through our feminine care brand Curves, we're very pleased and honored to sponsor Reggae Girls by providing a range of personal care items. We are supporting their athletic endeavors and accomplishments and ensuring their comfort and confidence as part of their health and preparation to perform at the highest level while on and off the field. This underscores the commitment of our brand Curves to fostering a holistic well-being. We believe that no obstacle should stop a young girl's dream, aspiration, or the ability to participate fully in any sporting activity or in any aspect of life, whether business, science, government, public service. If you can dream it, you can achieve it, and that's what we believe at LASCO and with our brand Curves. Curves providing the ultimate care, comfort, protection, is proud to be a sponsor of the 5 national female teams with all their feminine care, as was announced earlier. Hashtag Go Reggae Girls, hashtag Curves. Be the woman. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Pandui. Let's now invite Mr. Nibble Oxford, who will give some remarks from the Past Players Association.
Morning, folks.
Morning.
It's great to be here this morning. Just to say a few words about what the past players have been doing and trying to accomplish. I just spoke with Dr. Neville Graham. He's one of our most prominent physicians, and he actually is in the operating theater, hence he would be here today. Dr. Graham from Winchester Enterprise has offered 30% discount on all doctor's visits to every past Jamaica player. That's a wonderful effort, I think. And if you look at the value of that, it could be millions every past player. And I must thank the JFF for getting those ID cards done so that they can present when they go up to Winchester Medical with Dr. Graham and his associates. We are really happy about that, and this is just, I hope, a start of further things to happen for the past players who have given service from way back 40s, 50s. I am a 60s, 70s person. I know I'm still young, but I'm really grateful for that. And once again, thanks, JFF, and I'm glad to be here. One love.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oxford. Before we open the floor for questions from the media, we'd like to invite Mr. Chungak to give a few closing remarks.
Thank you, Simon. Yeah, I just want to say that on behalf of the President and myself, that we're really, really grateful for the support from sponsors, because without sponsors, this cannot happen, right? And therefore, you know, we welcome what Sherwin-Williams and Curves is actually doing for us, because we're not just about getting in funds for the JFF, as you see, but with Curves coming on and actually giving things directly to the girls, you know, to support them. I think that's important. And, you know, painting the facility, you know, those are some of the things we want to do in terms of development. And I really like to mention the other persons who have, and you see that a growing list have come on and helped us. Of course, FIFA and CONCACAF is always there for us, President. Adidas, you see their ball here and the boots. They have been really, really good to us, and we think that we're going to grow that partnership also. The Ministry of Sports and the Minister, the Sports Development Foundation, the Bob Marley Foundation, the Reggae Girls Foundation, Wisinko, of course, has been a long time sponsor with their hydration products and also cash. IRFM, KFC, Quartz, Unicoma, Stewart's Jamaica, Grace Kennedy with products, Sagicor, Supreme Ventures, First Choice Pharmacy, Holiday Inn Resort, Pegasus Hotel, and Scotiabank Jamaica. We want to say on behalf of the JFF and the President in particular, thank you very much, because we know that we cannot do this without you.
I just sat there and I thought it would be extremely remiss of me not to mention a gentleman called Mr. Ian Forbes. Mr. Forbes stood with us when nobody else wanted women's football. And for years, Mr. Richardson said 14 years, it looks to me like 40. But Sherwin Williams and Ian Forbes would have given so much, and whatever we're achieving now, we must pay homage to Ian Forbes and Sherwin Williams. Thank you so much, gentlemen, and please convey my absolute regard to Mr. Forbes for the work, the commitment, and the support that his company would have given throughout the years when women's football was probably unattractive. But he stood in us, and the rest is history. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ricketts and Mr. Chung. At this point in time, we'll now open the floor to questions from the media. You may raise your hand, identify yourself and your organization, and ask questions to anyone here from the head table. Yes, Daniel Wheeler from the Polina. You may proceed.
Just a couple questions. One, do you know in terms of how the ticketing and everything will be sorted out for the September 22 Olympic qualifier at home? What are kind of those plans are looking like? And also, if the girls do qualify for Paris, obviously there will be some opportunities in some windows in October and November. Are there plans and discussions to probably get some friendlies? Of course, assuming that does happen. To get friendlies in those windows, if provided that the girls get to Paris.
Yeah, Mr. Chung, before you come in, Daniel, I just want to add as well that the Reggae Girls have actually qualified for the Pan American Games as well, which is later this year in Chile, and that is October 22 to November 4.
Okay.
Yeah, really ticketing. We started the organization for everything already. We've made the bookings at the stadium. We're making all the preparations with the management team. And really ticketing, I actually had a discussion with the president and VP Gaynor about it. And VP Gaynor is the one who's going to be leading that chat. So he's actually making that contact now. We're going to go with electronic ticketing, right? So he's dealing with that right now. In terms of friendlies, I mean, there's a lot of activity happening. So it will be up to the coach at that time to determine what he wants. You know, if he wants something in between or something. But there's a lot of things happening.
Any follow-up, Daniel?
Now it's it.
Okay. All right, sir. Yeah, please identify yourself and your organization. Yeah.
Steve Black from TBC Radio. I would like to find out, in addition to the stellar performance by the Reggae Girls, are there any plans for homecoming or so forth in Jamaica?
Like I mentioned, most of these girls are domiciled overseas. 4 of them are actually coming back to Jamaica. 2 will land today and the other 2 tomorrow. We will certainly be having discussions with Minister Grange in this regard. We are looking forward to when they all are here in September to plan some kind of a homecoming. Because as it is now, it's kind of a challenge because most of them would have been going back to their respective places of abode. But 4 are actually coming back to Jamaica. But we will definitely be putting plans in place for when they're here for the qualifiers in September. Yeah, and those who are coming today will be met. The minister would have had some plans in place The JFF would have a contingent in Montego Bay. In fact, they're coming into Montego Bay. So they will be met by officials from both the JFF and from government.
Yes, thanks, Mr. Ricketts. Any other questions? Giovanni, Wayne, anything you're in? Yes, go ahead, Daniel.
I'll just go. Just two things. One, obviously, Lauren Donaldson's contract runs out to the end of September. He said that obviously, you know, you'll have to discuss it, have some discussions regarding his future towards that. Regardless of what happens after the Olympic qualifiers, are the JFF interested in keeping Lauren Donaldson for a full cycle?
So that I don't comment on first.
Well, that is totally dependent on recommendations from the technical committee. So we'll just wait on the technical committee and then we will move forward.
But nothing until the qualifiers end.
All right, thank you very much, Daniel, and thank you very much for everybody for coming this morning to the press conference. Just a reminder again to subscribe to JFF's YouTube channel, JFF Live. On Instagram, it is JFF_football, the same on Twitter, and the website, jff.football. And finally, at 1 o'clock today, you can go on CONCACAF.com to watch our under-15 Reggae Boys as they take on Honduras. As you go on CONCACAF's website, you can see an icon that says CONCACAF Play Go. And once you click on that, you'll see the stream, Jamaica versus Honduras. Let's give them all the support we can as they push over the line into the quarterfinals, advancing to the semi-finals of the competition. And we have a wonderful opportunity, as we know, as the President and also the General Secretary has made mention, this month, August, next month, September, and even October as well, to cheer on our national teams on home soil, the under-17 Reggae Girls, our senior Reggae Girls, and also our Reggae Boys as well will be in action. More information to come in relation to time, date, location of all of these matches, so stay tuned to the JFF platform for all of these updates, and have a pleasant rest of the day to everybody. Thank you.